and it'll definitely be able to follow up an ult there. As long as the Ornn doesn't hit like super late game, it's not going to be too much of a problem. And you have a lot of damage in the composition in general, so...
Yep. I think DRX knew that they wanted to pick the Ezreal. Now the Kai'Sa ban makes all that much more sense, as I think they were just aiming for that from the beginning, as Jhin Alistar. Not exactly a awe-inspiring bottom lane. And let's see what Andal wants to do. Could just be the Karma if he would like to. I'd prefer to see something else, and I think Nautilus is pretty free. Given the fact that there is an Alistar already there, I think that your lane prospects are still looking kind of okay up against the Jhin Alistar. And so he can go towards the champion that he's been really dominating on. And I really like to see it. Andal just hopping out on the best foot forward straight away.
Yeah, I think getting comfort for him in this situation, but I think honestly TN Super is having Rumble Pantheon such a strong top jungle, the Orianna as well, linking with that. And it feels like they just picked the Jhin Alistar just to kind of have, you know, the Alistar for the setup, the Jhin for the follow-up. Feels like they kind of got everything they wanted in this game one.
I would agree, and I think even if they picked, you know, Teemo Zilean in the bottom lane, it would have still been fine because that top side is just so incredibly powerful. I feel like, you know, Zilean's fine. I don't know why I used that as an example of a bad bottom lane, but stuff with Teemo is just generally not going to work out.
I think Teemo Zilean doesn't sound too convincing.
It doesn't sound too good. I just feel like...
You can't speed him up and just blind people.
Hatte schon Sorge, ja, warum? Weil ich duschen gegangen bin. Weil ich duschen gegangen bin vor dem ersten Game, ich Idiot. Hallo Juli. Deswegen.
Here on the DRX side, I'm pretty sure. So I think we are there as well. As Bulldog, of course, formerly of the DN Supers, or I guess the DN Freaks back in his day. But obviously supporting them. So let's see who is going to be happy after this one. As a lot of scaling over on the side of DRX and the DN Supers with that awe-inspiring top side of the map. And then some pretty solid bottom lane as well. Let's get into it. Game number one.
So,
this all bracket best of 5. All right, DN Supers fans, a little bit unsure as to the cadence of the call out, but hopefully they figure that one out as we get further on. DRX like a well-oiled machine. Let's see whether that is going to be represented on the Rift as well.
Hallo Dino, hallo Blause. Hallo danke. Gibt's einen Link, wo das mit dem Voice angekündigt wird? Das ist nur ein Leak quasi. Aber sehr, also League of Leaks ist halt super reliable im Moment.
So interestingly, both supports opting to go Aftershock. I think
Ja,
it makes
das
sense
war der
on
Tweet.
the Nautilus. He is quite squishy. Those extra resistances go a long way. But seeing on the Alistar as well, I feel like a pick that we've seen a lot more spellbook on.
Yeah.
But really valuing that extra tankiness, particularly in the early game, before you have that ult available.
Persönlich nicht zwingend, also ich glaube, also meine honest opinion ist so, meine honest opinion ist, ich werde den nicht benutzen. Ziemlich sicher. Also. Aber das habe ich auch schon vor einem Jahr oder sowas gesagt, dass ich ihn sehr wahrscheinlich einfach nicht benutzen werde, Hallo Gotcho, wenn er rauskommt. Ist nicht für mich. Und war auch irgendwie nie, was ich wollte. Das war für mich nicht so wirklich wichtig, honestly. Ja, permanent auszuhaben, durch, check. Ich verstehe es voll. Da lassen wir nur. Wir werden benutzen. Ja, wie gesagt, also ich weiß, dass es viele gewünscht haben. Ich bin da jetzt nicht, also ich bin da nicht der größte Freund von. Aber ja. Wow, der kriegt den Hook da. Also der nicht. Vielleicht, dass er gut fürs Spiel sein kann. Weiß nicht. Ich glaube, es ist wichtig, dass sie ihn reinbringen, einfach nur damit niemand mehr sagen kann, yo, wenn Voice Chat im Game wäre das Game gefixt. Ich glaube, allein aus dem Grund ist es halt gut. Allein aus dem Grund ist es gut, ihn reinzubringen. Auch wenn am Ende dann komplett nichts, also wenn es dann nichts bringt, so, aber dann kann niemand mehr sagen, so, yo, aber hätten wir Voice Chat, wäre das Game gefixt. So. Und deswegen finde ich es fein, dass sie ihn reinbringen, right? Oder ich verstehe, warum sie ihn reinbringen müssen. Oder warum sie ihn reinbringen mussten, eventually. Ergibt schon Sinn. Sind wir fein? Willa? Willa, sind wir fein? Ende sind wir fein? 2 Flashes down, okay.
Looks like Pyosik gonna be able to grab the Scuttle Crab, and DRX did not lose first blood to a Scuttle fight.
Yeah, able to get away from that one, but it was a scary situation. And it's, again, dealing with the threat of the Pantheon in the early game. Peter with the initial setup, and also just the fact you have a Jin, he's always going to be able to contribute to the fight first with that root.
So.
Another hook in from Andal, feeling really good about that one. Peter taking a lot of
Bisschen
damage.
Burst.
As Doctom also good accuracy on those Mystic.
In CS funktioniert es ja auch halbwegs. Du, wie gesagt, also ich glaube allein aus dem Grund, damit man sagen kann, so, yo, ich habt ja euren Voice-Chat. Ja, passt es.
Oh, managed to get the cannon there. I was a little bit worried.
If Andal connects, it could just be
also, ja, weiß nicht.
If Jiwoo lands all his skills, the potential is there. They have to play really on the defensive in this position. Should be a plate potentially in this situation too now.
130. Hallo Mario und hallo Matt. Kann auch schlimmer werden, ja, aber das ist ja egal. Also, weil oh mein Gott, Twitch. Warum werden? Ich glaube, wie gesagt, es ist einfach so ein Fakt von so, ja, jeder beschwert sich, dass League Voice, also das League so viel besser wäre, wenn sie Voice Chat hätten. Jetzt kriegen sie Voice Chat und dann, wenn es halt nicht, dann nicht funktioniert, dann, well, ja, ist halt so.
And it's so interesting seeing UCal on the Azir side of this matchup. I swear every single time there's the trade of Orianna Azir.
Ja, ich werde ihn höchstwahrscheinlich nicht benutzen. Sehr realistisch werde ich ihn nicht benutzen, aber it is what it is.
Doesn't have his flash. Level 6 there for UCal.
He seems to be doing pretty okay so far though. So
yeah, sort of like it's all calm on Summoner's Rift for the moment. I'm expecting this game to turn silly at some point.
Yeah, waiting for it.
Now, it might happen right now as Pyosik dives in. Willer is in the
Was sie machen können? Nö, warum? Ist ja einfach Opt-out. Also, oder ist eher Opt-in wahrscheinlich. Ich weiß nicht, ob es Opt-in oder Opt-out ist. Aber either way bist du ja fein, wenn du es nicht benutzen willst. Hallo, Iron. Gibt's noch einen Progress mit der Couch? Nope. Wenn sie da ist, ist sie da. Wenn nicht, ist sie nicht da. Das ist der Stand der Dinge.
Yeah, a lot of cooldowns from DNS just dumped into the Nautilus, and it gave Willer so much free reign there in that fight. And Bessa able to get a lot of damage down in return, made things a little scary.
Yeah, Doctom and Peter now underneath this turret with a little bit of respite, but Gio going to go back home. See whether he can.
Könnte aus in den 5 Game Series werden, ne? Also ich sehe hier nicht unbedingt einen klaren Favoriten.
Level 6 going to come in soon for Pyosik here, so once that ult's available, you know, it's not just the fact.
Ich sehe hier nicht unbedingt einen Favoriten.
Free armor pen with it. He's going to be pretty scary to deal with.
Andal is now Willer's support.
Yeah,
is what it looks like.
I mean, you have an Ezreal.
Zweite Krabbe.
Yeah.
Passt.
Park him down there. Does have a wave to deal with now. Arcane shifted, I believe, to pick up one of the minions that was falling down. If judging by the minimap has anything to do with it. DNS moving up to about a 200 gold lead just based on how these lanes are doing, and I imagine that is almost all Dudu, who is, you know, doing the money printer thing, but is also ahead by about a wave. But Rich, obviously, is just happy wearing a cape and building stuff and all that sort of stuff here towards the top side.
He's getting pressured out a good amount though, so Grub's up in about a minute 15. Rich is pretty low on mana, getting chunked out, and he doesn't have TP. So unless he can find a reset, he's just not going to be of any real use if they try and set up for the Grubs. Might have to give that over if DNS opt to contest it.
Ich bin safe in der Mitte. Wahrscheinlich schon eine Menge. I don't know, das ist, also, wir haben halt, also im Pro-Play gab es so ein Beispiel, wo es dann eben quasi diesen Discord-Server gab für Kevin's Q. Und da war es am Anfang halt mit sehr viel Voice und am Ende so haben die Leute einfach keinen Bock mehr gehabt. Weiß ich. I don't know. Ich kann es mir nicht für die Average-Person, keine Ahnung.
Not a whole lot of Cloud Soul value, I guess. Like, there's not those champions that feel really good with it, like Nocturne and Sivir and things like that.
It's just like the flat movement speed. It's okay.
It does just feel good.
Yeah.
To walk faster.
I do think, obviously, Compia Mountain. I mean, Infernal Soul pretty big. Hextech's always crazy.
Yep.
Ocean, not the worst Ocean game. It's honestly not even the worst Chemtech angle for like the DRX comp with like Ambessa on.
It's a good point, actually. Maybe Chemtech would actually be the dream. Maybe we need to.
Okay, let's not go that
for
far.
a Chemtech Drake.
Let's not go that far.
I'm almost ready to go that far. Maybe it's time
Alles
for
okay.
just for Chemtech Soul.
No, I don't think so.
It's not. Okay.
No.
I always need to test to make sure that we're not getting there. That's all right. Rich, pretty happy as he's made his way back up there. He is still 10 CS behind, but now it's so he's moving up. And if this game continues on like this keel, DRX are extraordinarily happy. We have to, point out that
Das stimmt. On Comp.
Scale badly or anything like that, but it's on
Arturo.
and Ezreal. They're very happy to go later on into the game. There's tons of CC with this Nautilus as well. And so DNS very happy that they can pick up this first dragon, because I think Drakes are going to be really important for this composition to keep themselves in control.
Hi, GG.
Can go for the Drake instead of going for the grubs. I mean, Rich did get that recall off, so he was healthy anyway, but Part hasn't that. And I think it feels bad to pick up a mountain and then see the Hex Tech after.
Yeah, true.
I think in terms of the souls you might be setting up for, it just doesn't feel too...
Und ich werde sowieso nicht benutzen, weil er muss ja auf Englisch. Also das ergibt ja gar keinen Sinn. Weißt du, wenn du auf Deutsch streamst, dann gehst du in Voice Chat und das ist halt Englisch dann. Ain't happening.
Still a gamble.
Ain't happening. Machen wir nicht.
It's weird. Maybe I've been playing too much Zorn in TFT.
Yeah.
I've just got that sort of like Chemtech vibe. I don't know. Anyway. Rich versus Dudu is not exactly the lane that we really want to be watching for action's sake, but that really does tell you at what point in the game we're at.
Kann Englisch, was machen wir dann? Nicht in Voice gehen halt.
You at least get to see the first
Nicht in Voice gehen halt.
and you get the nice little noise it makes when he gets the gold cash in. That's something at least.
Gio is just happily watching these minions go down. Is Peter taking a bit of damage? There's another hook. Very nice one. True Shot Barrage. A lot of value here.
Interesting, dass Peter so spät ultet, ne? Verliert halt 50, also ultet halt, nachdem er 50% HP verloren hat.
At the same time as Andal and Gio are doing a whole lot of work, but there's the curtain call. Gio tanks up one of them. Let's see whether they can get the sidestep off as he holds the last bullet and misses onto the Ezreal. So Dr. I'm not exactly finding a lot of joy, but he is looking very healthy. Just Peter a little worse for wear.
Yeah, and I think DRX feeling pretty good about that. Managing to get barrier and heal from the side of DNS.
Oh, that's a bit of a cheeky stop.
Fresh.
Good cancel.
Yeah. Also, that wood. Do you see that wood that's outside the brush, by the way?
Yeah. Little unfortunate. Not getting a lot of work done. It's a lazy ward, that one. Oh, dear.
Gio's gonna clear it.
Skara would be so proud of that ward. He would be so
Okay, it's
proud.
gone. At least it's gone. Okay, it never happened.
Yeah. It's just sitting in Gio's wallet now, and it's a little keepsake.
Yeah.
This silly little ward that did nothing. Oh dear. Well, Ucal here just clearing waves in the mid lane. 3 minutes on any sort of neutral objective turning up, so there is no reason.
Ey, ich wollte gerade sagen, also ich glaube, so Shooter-Communities sind noch schlimmer, oder nicht?
Scuttle team fight. There's a hook connecting somehow. That was a weird angle. As Pioshik dashing in, but Willer is on his way out there, so buffers it to avoid any sort of misposition. And DNS will back away.
Nur hast du da halt nicht geht? Wirklich.
Okay.
Okay.
Even, and I'm just waiting for some stuff to happen. I think if like Double Dragon comes through for DNS, then maybe we could talk about them actually having a real advantage. But so far, nothing for either side.
Suicide zum Beispiel sehr chill.
The lead is now Peter might be out of position. Remember, does have his ultimate back off cooldown now.
Alle Tätowierten sind Straftäter, ja. Bei dem Knast.
Situation there from Willer's ultimate, but it doesn't matter. That is going to be a trade as Ucal goes down, but so does Pioshik. Another anchor comes in, but it's great pulverize there from Peter as the Ornn has turned up and Rich is going to
Ich warte nur auf die Akte Juli.
and then get himself out of there. Doesn't quite find it, but it's a good flash there from Peter. Now Dudu with a flamethrower and a dream is just going to take out the Ornn, and flash out there from Willer gets him over the wall. DNS find the team.
Honestly, in Shootern immer ganz wilder Flip als Frauen Voice Chat checke. War auch so viel, also For You Page war komplett voll mit halt Tweets über League Voice und es war halt wirklich so 50% Frauen, die gesagt haben so, yo, ain't no way. Valid. Ja, valid.
And it still into the shockwave.
Yes, it still takes a lot of time to kill him, and they trade 1 for 1. And they've been
Hey, Doris, Dankeschön für den Raid. Ganz viel Liebe. Guna.
Rich actually arrives, he pops all his cooldowns but has no follow-up, and look how healthy Dudu, Closer and Dokdam are. So,
es ist das hier auf Dudu.
Honestly, the only thing I'll say about this is Dokdam, his ult just came up.
Es ist das hier auf Dudu.
If his ult was up sooner,
Als Frauenwäscher ist halt wirklich Büchse der Pandora. Ja, checke.
That could have been a lot worse for DRX. That was way too many tools blown on that Pantheon. They were getting antsy, I think we could tell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even pulling the trigger, it was...
Ich kann das Average Age auch gar nicht einschätzen. Das Average Age in League. Ich kann es nicht einschätzen. Ob wir hier bei 20 plus sind oder wo wir uns begeben. Ich weiß es nicht.
Could have been a different story. Has a lot of consistent damage on this Azir.
I think also if they just held some of their tools, you know, if they hadn't, they don't need to use the
Timmy und Tommy aus der 9., ne? Ich weiß es nicht. Sind es so 14, 15-Jährige? Ich habe keinen Schimmer. No joke, ich habe keinen Schimmer.
I think when you can capitalize on the Ram, have a little bit of CC down beforehand to get those extra knockups, create that bounce house. These are sort of the things that DRX is going to be looking for. So a little bit suboptimal, but great for DNS to start this game off. They now have about 1,000 gold lead. Rich with his Rooker, though, completed, and so he's starting to care less and less about what this Rumble is doing.
Yeah. The Andrew's there for Dudu, so a big spike for him, but it's so hard to really have pressure in this match. I mean, you'll push him in, you'll have that sort of pressure, but it's hard to really permanently just break through that shield again and again at this point.
Kill threat is a more difficult one to get towards, as Pioshik going to look to try and get Willer out of here, but Banana Brush is going to be under DRX's control. Rich gets himself out of there, and now we're starting up the Drake yet again. We do have all of DNS in the vicinity. Public Execution comes down, gets on top of Pioshik. Once again, they really want to engage
Guter Play.
to the Pantheon.
Guter Flash. Und Yukal ist so ein bisschen fucked jetzt, oder? Er muss weiter traden. Yukal ist ein bisschen sehr fucked. Unangenehm. 1-0. Peter. Ja, 1-0. Peter, mein Gott. Ruhe. Ja, das Problem ist, dass Yuka hier reingeht, ne? Und dann ist halt, also, ich habe den Rest nicht gesehen, aber Yuka geht hier jetzt rein auf Closer und dann ist schon fucked. Ja, also, dann ist halt schon fucked. Viel zu deep.
He's like, where do I go?
Early to mid-20s.
Enemy team there? Can I go through the turret? No, he gets shockwave into the turret. This time, Dokdam has his ult immediately, and it goes so much worse. This is what gone last fight. If he had a good ult setup, this time he does, and yeah, they get decimated. So, didn't learn from the last setup, it seems, with DRX. DNS did, though. They had the Jingle available, and they immediately punished them. Managed to pick up the dragon. It's an Ocean Soul.
Not the best, but
not great.
Not the worst. As now looking for a Rift Herald as well. DNS really starting to run away with this game now.
Yeah, this is a big goal lead. So this is really where DNS wanted to be at this point in the game. The early game was slower. It took a bit more time for them to get online, but 3.5k gold at 16 minutes.
Wow, dieses Max-HP hier vom TP, ne? Haben sie auch komplett unterschätzt. Sorry. Schönes Sieg. Also mechanisch. Mechanisch ist du... Oh nein. 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 Ich habe den Double Kill auch gesehen, Dudu, keine Sorge. Du warst nicht der Einzige. Du warst nicht der Einzige, Dudu. Ich habe ihn auch gesehen, den Double. Katastrophe.
I assume it must have been on cooldown, because there's no way he wouldn't have used it. He even tried to flash over the wall to finish them off, and kind of failed the flash, so I assume it was on cooldown.
It was, 5 seconds, so unfortunately available from the death chamber.
I think what feels even worse about this is Pantheon's
dieses Max-HP ist...
If Pantheon was in ult range, think how badly this would
ist einiges.
But Dudu plays the initial part.
Oh, ich habe gehört, dass Bippo vielleicht ein Team hat für Spring Split, aber ist nur ein Gerücht auf der Straße. Ist nur das Gerücht auf der Straße momentan.
That's 2 free kills for me right now, and ended up kind of flubbing it and it backfiring. Really unfortunate there.
Suboptimal. We're about to head towards, 2-item spike territory though here for Jiu. He is going to start doing more than Dokdam in these fights. We have the first ornament complete on that Rookern for Rich. And so that is going to mitigate that gold advantage by just a little bit. And as you can see, it's only 2.6k.
Sagen welche Liga? Gehört LCS vielleicht.
So not the end of the world here for DRX at this point in time. I think
Dieses Gerücht auf der Straße.
I was doing a coach comms that they love to do, he'd call up and he'd say, guys, just hold on, okay? We've got it in the late game. As we often say, we're trying to be the optimistic one in solo queue.
Yeah.
As now closer, could be Emperor's Divided, does actually. Shockwave is going to connect there as well, and Pyoshik turns up. So Yukal just once again dead. That was an odd decision to make. As Willer and Andal just say, well, Pigeon Man, you are dead, and we will leave.
So many of the shuffles from Yukal just haven't gone well.
Yeah, it's just not
wow.
There we
Wow.
go. Sidestep from Dr. Arm is beautiful.
Okay.
Flash as well, just
I wasn't familiar with your game. Okay.
Swifties? So many Jins have Swifties, so that becomes even easier, but doesn't even have that?
Yeah, the Ghost Blade coming in clutch there for the movement speed.
True.
But just, I love the confidence.
Okay.
He has the summoner. He's like, no, I don't do those.
Yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah, so well played there. Here, Yukal again goes for a shuffle onto closer, but doesn't have the backup from the team. And I guess just forgets about the existence of Pantheon.
Yeah.
This time, you can see the difference of the play. You know, that bot side play onto the Rumble. Pantheon wasn't there to clean up.
Wieder Zero Damage Bridge? Nee. You muss into AI?
Here, though, they try and make a play top side. Pantheon's there.
You muss into AI ist doch fein, oder?
Kind of puts in a context. So we're talking about this in the pre-show. These global picks, the impact they're having. Why the Pantheon is 100% win rate in playoffs so far, the LCK Cup. It's doing pretty good.
Yep, it's just pretty exceptional right now. And it works with so many things. Like the Pantheon Rumble I've seen just be so dominant in the early stages of the game. The combination of early
Stormrazor.
is
The
just
fuck?
so high, and then later on,
Ich glaube, es wäre ein Fix für die Drake-Meta in Comp. Ich habe keine Ahnung.
And eliminate them, and then if they turn to actually try and kill
Also die Sache ist was also da haben wir mit Danosh drüber geredet und Danosh hat eigentlich echt einen richtig guten Punkt gebracht. So, du brauchst halt irgendwas, sowas wie eine Soul, damit Games in Solo-Queue enden. Oder Leute in Solo-Queue groupen. Ich weiß nicht, wie du es fixst. No idea.
And the damage mitigation means that he's just not that squishy.
Yeah, he scales pretty well.
I'm just not sure
Grub ist useless. Herald ist ziemlich useless so. Was? Oh, Close ist tot. Was hast du denn realistisch für ein gutes Objective außer Drake halt? Weißt du, wenn es wieder hat? Nein, ich weiß noch nicht. Ich bekomme so eine Weile davor gesagt habe. Ich hab's noch nicht. Ist hier dieses Hass schauen? Nein, ich bin ein netter Typ. Wow. Oh mein Gott.
The last bullet, not quite enough. Yukal just outranges it. I'm not sure how most of DRX survived that, but definitely good on him.
That was crazy. Yeah, outranging. That bullet was going to hit Yukal.
Oh, 100%.
A little bit.
Ja, dass da keiner von DRX stirbt, ist eigentlich eine Frechheit.
The good old underground.
Oder nicht noch einer.
Where the curtain calls range ends.
This was a pretty manic start to the fight. So again, going for that proactive play from DRX, and they managed to take out Closer here. Not much you can do in this situation being bounce housed, but unfortunately Judy just doesn't quite have the damage to finish off Willer in this situation, and it feels like a little bit of split focus from DNS. They're just not able to finish off the targets very well, which makes sense. You know, Jiwoo and Yukal both quite mobile. We're getting more fighting, it seems.
We are just straight into another fight. Yukal in a bit of trouble yet again.
Was zur Hölle? Warte, wie ist Yukal da gelandet?
This game is now Heba pulverized onto Andal, and he should be.
I mean, DRX wird dieses Game nicht gewinnen. Das verspreche ich euch, die werden dieses Game nicht gewinnen.
And if I was to give any feedback, I'd probably say get it together, Yukal. That's probably where I would be in this one. He's been out of position, and that should be Soul Point going over to DNS as Jiwoo looks to try and get some scraps here in this mid lane. It isn't quite able to do so. Rich is starting to become that brick wall that we expect of him, but if they fall too far behind, it will not matter about the scaling conversation. They
can just kind of ignore him and then deal with him at the end of the fight, right? The CC is a big problem, of course, but if everyone else dies first, it's not really going to be too much of a concern. And Yukal just seems to always be dying at the start of the fight.
Yeah, let's see how that... Oh, he just wandered.
Yeah.
It's another surprise Pantheon scenario.
I think it's one of these situations where you're playing a Z, you feel so safe because you have that mobility, but the combo from Peter interrupts his dash, and then, okay, game over.
Yep. Well,
also ich habe mir bin so viel, es ist wieder dieses Heldensyndrom, ne?
For the 5th time in this series, the first 4 we'll give them to him. They can be a freebie, and now we'll see whether he can do better. As Rich is going to miss that cannon, suboptimal there. And has hit level 14, can start doling out some of these ornaments to his teammates, which is going to be important. Very close to level 15 as well. And so we could have...
Weiß nicht, ob der, also ja, ich meine, wir haben 5000 Gold Leads. Ich weiß nicht, drei Drakes, 4 Minuten ist Soul. Und die spiken jetzt nicht gerade schlecht auf dem dritten Item.
Trinity Force brackets masterwork brackets now.
Oh no, it's not. I disagree. I know that that's what they did. That's because they did not want to consult me or I guess LS because we were the ones who were talking about ornaments way too much back today. They didn't want to consult us on all of the names, and so therefore they just decided not to actually put the official names down. They still exist. They're just not written in.
So, Razor Second von KLMS, die Rage Discrepancy kurz, ausgleichen.
Is potentially caught out of, by potentially, I mean he's very caught out of position.
In der Stadt.
The curtains are cold
In der Stadt Turn.
Yeah.
Der wird DP von Rich kommen.
Rich is still strong, right?
There you go.
Relevant.
Baron is...
Der hat doch keine Armor.
Okay. Well, they're gonna TP in.
Gar keine Armor, warte mal.
Also gets a lot of value.
I mean, Baron takes a long time.
Oh mein Gott, die können nicht entern.
They have Rich here. He's tanky to move in, so they move.
Oh, die machen ihn gar nicht.
Baron.
Well, there is an equalizer that goes down. Pyoshi gets here as well, but we're flashing. And is the Arcane Shift going to be back? Yes, it is. Decent position there, but unfortunately the orb makes its way over the wall, and there is a dead 80 carry. This could be another opportunity for a Baron, as UCal at least has a Shadow Flame that's a bit more upgraded. Just don't think that's going to quite help when Giu is...
Ich finde es gut, wenn Pushen tatsächlich eine Option wäre, die nicht komplett ausschließt, aber okay, da haben wir auch drüber gesprochen. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass dieses Homeguard bis zur Tier 2 Turret, das funktioniert auch nicht so wirklich, weil das Homeguard aus der Base halt auch OP ist. Also, weiß nicht. Ich habe wirklich noch, also ich habe im Pro-Play dieses Jahr, glaube ich, müsste lügen, aber ich habe noch nie jemanden zu seiner Wave laufen sehen, die irgendwo beim Gegner Tier 2 Turret ist. Das gibt's einfach nicht. Und ich weiß nicht, ob das, also, ich weiß nicht, ob das einfach nie der richtige Play ist oder ob es einfach in den Szenarien nicht der richtige Play ist. Aber das gibt's einfach nicht, dass Leute zu ihrem Tier 2 Turret oder zum Gegner Tier 2 Turret hinrennen mit Homeguard, weil da die Wave ist. Gehen muss gegen Damon, richtig. Korrekt. Morgen gegen Damon. Gehen von heute Morgen gegen Damon, am Samstag dann an Genji gegen BFX. Ja. Und dann am Sonntag die Lehrer davon, nee, T1 gegen den Gewinner von morgen. And maybe they'll just have to talk to themselves about, oh, but our ornaments are mitigating so much of this gold advantage because they represent so much money's worth of stats. Haha. And I just don't know whether that's going to work if DRX continue to have their members be out of position at the beginning of these teamfights. Like, their composition, it's so good in a front to back, but don't back to front, you know? That's what you gotta do.
How much gold value do you lose?
Genji vs BFX, ja. T1 ist eine Runde weiter im Lower Bracket wegen Seeding, korrekt, ja. Kriegen auf der Hilfeformat und dann nach Seeding geht's eben, wird dementsprechend eingeteilt.
Minus, you know, 9,000, 10, how much is it, like 11,000 maybe at this point for UCal being dead? Maybe not even that. He doesn't have that many items, so...
Oh, by the way, from chat, what's an upgraded Bandle Pipes? A Bandle Symphony. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad Peter's not on the team of the Orn now.
I know!
He's already a Bandle Piper.
Where is the Bandle Pipes? Ugh. And Rich was our OG Bandle Piper, was he not? He was. He was the first one to... I know it was on his Cassante. Now Dudu could be in a little bit of trouble and does have the equalizer down, and now the Ram comes.
Hat auch kein Flash up.
Seeing what he can get done here is there's the public execution.
Oh mein Gott, die haben besser Ulti. Die haben besser Ulti, hat den alles da getroffen. Ist das eine... Warte, was macht Dogdam? Oh, schöner Flash. Oh, schöner Flash. Okay, das macht Dogdam. Und Curtains auf. Oh my God, it's fucked. Die Soul ist weg. Schön. Soul Nash, ja, es war ein bisschen inevitable, ne? Schon die letzten so 5 Minuten, sagen wir mal 10 Minuten hat es angebannt.
Yeah, this one not looking good. Trying to find a play on the Dudu, and you know what? I think it kind of makes sense. You're trying to find a sort of pick onto someone before the start of the fight, but the problem is it's an Ornn and an Ambassador onto a pretty bulky Rumble, and you're in the enemy jungle, so of course they're going to get that pretty quickly. UCal goes for this play, and he tries to flash to follow the flash of Dogdam, but even if he does, I mean, yeah, he maybe does manage to kill Dogdam in this situation at best, but he's dead anyway. I just feel like he keeps going for these plays, and he just keeps ending up in bad situations. He had a Seeker's Arm Guard, didn't get a chance to use it there. The Azir just not working out.
It's just it's not really providing what it needs. It's really working.
Yeah.
Which is confusing and upsetting me.
Well, I think part of it is he didn't build Rapid Fire second.
Oh, that's a. I mean, he's going to build it fourth.
Yeah, but more damage items before that.
That's a good point.
Also already has the LDR, right?
The biggest deal is that he's hitting almost all of his curtain call shots in teamfights. And that's working out very effectively.
Yep.
3 Lanes, wirklich.
Didn't really have armor until he bought that chain vest.
3 Lanes gegen Ornn.
Ja.
Okay, da kommt der Groove von Dudu. Okay. Jetzt shiftet Dudu in Mitte und dann spielen die 2 Lanes. Okay. I mean, Peter, du hast dich gerade heldenhaft geopfert. Nee, hat halt nicht. Wait, die turnen das. I mean, dann war der Flash sick von Peter. To be honest, dann war er sicker Flash. Respectable. Respectable. GG. Can he finish him? Die haben keine Wave.
DNS looking to break open the base.
And honestly, at this point, DRX, the game looks pretty doomed.
Wird schon passen, oder? 10 Sekunden. Nee, die finishen die? Nee, die finishen nicht, ne? Okay. Ja, 20 Sekunden auf Rich. 10 auf Ezreal.
I don't think so. As UCal has respawned, Hook is going to connect them onto Dudu, but they're focusing down the Nexus turrets.
Ja, reasonable. Piyoshi gewinnt, wollte sie again. Ja, ja. Ja, ja. GG.